Hey, what up, decisive marketers? So we are back again with another video of one of the Hexac products. It's Hexowatch. Now, Hexowatch is very different from Hexometer, although it is very, it is also very similar in a sense, and people get very confused between these two. So Hexometer is for your website. So you have a website, you want to make sure that it's working well, everything is healthy, then you use Hexometer to monitor that, right? So it's monitoring your site health. But for Hexowatch, what it does is you're watching someone else's website. So that's the difference between the both of them, right? So and I'm gonna be elaborating a little bit on Hexowatch, but before I dive into it, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see more digital marketing and e-commerce content. Here we go. So let me explain a little bit about what Hexowatch does. So Hexowatch monitors URL, so you can insert someone else's website. Okay, so generally what you're going to be using Hexowatch for is for someone else's website. So it could be your competitor's website, and of course it can be maybe your client's website as well if you want to use that, but of course generally if you have Hexometer, then that will cover most of the issues, right? Most of the use cases rather than using Hexowatch. Okay, so because Hexowatch works on a credit limit kind of thing, where you have for example, what I have right here is 75,000 checks per month, right? So I've got 75,000 checks per month, and then it will so how it works is, let's say you set a frequency of 1 time a day, then it's going to check once a day. Then for one single URL, it would have consumed 30 checks per month, somewhere around there, right? Okay, so that's kind of how Hexowatch works. Okay, so so you can use Hexowatch for monitoring your competitor's website. So for example, you can watch their, let's say you are e-commerce site. So what I'm using, and this is actually my exact use case, is that I sell a particular product, competitors sell the same one as well. I monitor their page, and when there is a change in, let's say, their pricing or their availability, then I can automatically I can then be informed. But of course, with Hexowatch, that is API and webhooks, we can then trigger certain changes on my own site as well. So for example, so one use case would be, for example, I have a website, I sell this product, and my competitor sells the same product. They run out of stocks. I have stocks, then this is my opportunity to sell more, right? So then I will possibly increase my ad spend. I can increase my ad spend. I would reach more people, then I can sell, because my competitors does not have stocks, right? I'm the only one with stocks. I can even increase my price if I want to, because I'm the only choice that's out there, right? I'm the only option that's out there. Another one would be, let's say they reduce their price. I can then adjust my price automatically to match the price, or maybe even set it cheaper than them as well, right? And then if they increase the price, I can also follow suit. So these are some of the use cases that I use Hexowatch for, right? So over here, I can see all the event feeds. So for example, this one right here, it tells me that there is it says that, for example, that the element is not found. So that means this particular product is no longer there. So they could have delisted the product itself, right? or for example, this one says that the element is not found. So what happens is that they probably had a discount, like a coupon code, something like that on the store. Then they removed it, right? But this one, it's more like it's unlisted, so it's no longer sold, right? If I'm not wrong. So that's what I use Hexowatch for. Okay, and then we can take a look at others as well. So for example, this is another competitor's website. So previous element, so what happens is that I believe this product is also no longer available. Okay, so their website is a little bit slow. So you can see, whoops, our bad. So the product is no longer being sold anymore because all the elements are, disappeared. Right, so these are some examples, okay, of what I use Hexowatch for. So I can look at all the monitored URLs in here as well. So these are all like my competitor's site, and I'm monitoring them some on a 1 day basis, some on the weekly basis. So I don't set them too often, but yep. Okay, so let me just kind of show you how it works. There are many kind of monitoring that you can set. For example, visual monitoring. So that means the design of the site has some changes, right? So when there is some changes, it will inform you. And when it comes to visual monitoring, let me just kind of show you how it works, right? So for example, I'm going to put in let's say I'm going to put in this website right here. It says sasmantra.com. I'm going to use this. So what happens is that I can preview the site. It's going to render the site right now. And you can of course also choose like from where, right? Asia, EU, or US. And are you going to be using their data center, or are you going to be using a residential geo location? So you can set that up. So it renders the entire page itself. So what happens with visual monitoring is that I can, let's say, this is the featured deal right now. So if they change their featured deal, so I'm going to watch this section right here. Okay, maybe not just this section, but maybe let's say I want to monitor this area. Okay, so that's so what happens is that visual monitoring is monitoring for changes, but maybe like the design, the color, or whatever it is, it overlaps a little bit with HTML elements, which I will go into that a little bit later. As much as possible, I try not to use visual changes because it's not as accurate as HTML changes. Okay, so if let's say there are some changes on the you can set it to watch the entire page itself. So when there's any change on the page itself, it will notify you, or you can just monitor a small section as well. Okay, so only when you can't achieve certain things with the HTML element monitoring, then I would use the visual monitor right here. Okay, so that's how it works. And on top of that, let me just show you, right? So on top of that, there is also, you can actually take so with Hexowatch, it is actually a little bit more advanced than you think. Let me just click on actions right here. So what happens is, on this page itself, I can make a click. Okay, so maybe I can click on the login button right here. So maybe what I want to monitor is not something that's accessible to the public. It could be within the account itself, right? So maybe I've got to log in. So what happens is that I can click, let's say I want to click on the login, something like that. It's not very good, but okay. So maybe I could monitor, say, this button right here, because somehow it's not working with this. Let me just see if I can just grab the login. I don't think so. Okay, but anyway, let's say I want to, maybe I'll use a different website. Okay, so for example, I use Labrica as one of the monitors that I, one of the pages that I monitor, because Labrica does SEO audits, right? And but the issue is that the account that I have, if you don't log in for a month or something like that, like you can set automatically to make site audits, but after a month, if you don't log in, it will automatically stop doing that, right? So what I do is I could then use Hexowatch to make sure that I automatically log in, right? So I can click on actions, I can click on click. Okay. So it's taking a little while. So there are many actions right here. You can see click custom XPath. I'm not really sure what is XPath, right? So you can type. Okay, so here we go, right? So I'm going to click on login right here, right? So this button right here, I click on continue. Then it's going to, so you can set multiple actions right here before you start to monitor the page. Okay, so what happens is that I'm going to click on the button, then log into the page. So when I click on the button, there is a pop-up that appears right here. Then I can then click action, and then I can start typing. Okay, so I can type my username and password, then it logs in. So that's why it's quite powerful. And then you can even set like cookies, delay. So for example, maybe a site has some kind of delay. Let me just kind of show you. So for example, now the form appears, I can then type my email right here. I click on continue, then I can put in my email, right? hello@decisivemarketer.com, for example. Then what happens is that it's going to type that in to the field. Then I can click on the login button and so on, right? I can put in the password, login, and all that. Okay, so that's what I can do with the visual monitoring, right? There's also other actions such as delay. So I can, let's say I know that this site always has a delay pop-up, and I want to monitor that pop-up, so I can do that as well, okay, by using delay, right? So you can see it types in, you can see that it types in my email in there, right? Then I can put in my password, then I can log in, right? So that's why this is quite interesting. Okay, so I can put in other actions as well, like refresh the page, scroll, certain pages, when you scroll it, maybe there's some kind of lazy loading, you can do that as well, right? Then this one is local storage. I'm not really sure what that is. You can maybe go to this page, then go to another URL. You can do that with Hexowatch as well. Okay, so very, very powerful here, right? And then there's bulk upload as well. There is we're just going to create a new monitor again and look at all the different ones that they have. So there is HTML element monitoring. So HTML element monitoring is very similar to I wouldn't say it's similar. It's monitoring that HTML element and make sure that and inform you whether there's any changes. So for example, let's say this one right here, when it goes out of stock, maybe the add to cart button and the buy now button might disappear, or the words could change, right? So HTML elements is much more powerful because it monitors that item itself. So maybe like it says 3-piece available, so I can monitor this, and then when the number changes to 2 or it becomes 15, I am informed as well, right? Visual will not be as accurate because sometimes if there's some if the page doesn't render so well, it might give you some false notification, I would say. Right, so HTML element monitoring. Okay, so you also have keyword monitoring, so you can check if the page has a word or without a word. Technology monitoring as well, so maybe they change from WordPress to Shopify, and then I would then be informed. Source code monitoring. Okay, so you can check if there's any change in the page itself. The content monitoring, automatic AI monitoring. So this one's quite interesting. Let me just take a look at what this is. So enter a web page URL and then choose how frequently a page should be checked, and Hexowatch will alert you when any type of change happens. Okay, so automatic AI monitoring sort of monitors everything, and then availability monitoring to make sure that the page is loading. Okay, so if it's not loading, then you can do something about it as well. So this one is somewhat similar to Hexometer, right? And then content monitoring, let me just check what this is. Okay, so this one checks for text, whether there's any content changes. It is somewhat similar to HTML element monitoring as well. What else? Domain who is, so if there is change in ownership or the DNS records, it will inform you as well. Then you got sitemap monitoring. You can put in a website's sitemap, and when they create new pages or delete new pages, you are informed as well. API monitoring, so this one will be making sure that the integration that you have is it's working. And then you can have backlink monitoring as well. So what happens is this is gonna make sure that the page, the backlinks that you have created, they are live and active. So whenever the backlink is removed or is changed from follow to no follow, you are informed as well. So this is very very good for SEO people. Make sure that you make use of the backlink monitoring feature. And then there's also RSS feed monitoring, so whenever a RSS feed updates, you are also informed. Okay, so with Hexowatch, you also have a bunch of integrations and stuff like that. You can also tag the property. You can create multiple tags. So maybe you are watching for price, you can set price or whatever it is, right? And then you got email notifications. Okay, and then whether you want to receive the visual monitoring images as well. So if you're using visual monitoring, it will show you the differences. Okay, current, or you can show the current or the previous or the high. You can also have the current with highlights of where the changes are. Okay, and they can put in the emails to be informed. And then the integrations are all in here. You can have Discord, blah blah blah, all in here, right? And then you can also have webhooks right here, and then you can choose your default server location and so on, right? So pretty much that's all for Hexowatch right here. So I would say personally, after Hexometer, Hexowatch is my second most used tool out there. And I guess that's all I have to share about Hexowatch and Hexometer. I think that Hexowatch, the current, as you can see right here, they have this nice banner that's going on right now, because we are in the Black Friday, Cyber Monday season. So they have a very great deal going on right now where you get huge savings of Hexometer, Hexowatch, Hexomatic, and Hexo Spark, right? So all of them are great tools, so highly recommend that you grab them. Okay, and yep. So I would say that after Hexometer, Hexowatch is a great tool, and I guess that's all I have to share, right? If you enjoyed this video, do give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you think about Hexowatch in the comments below. Lastly, if you know anyone who could benefit from Hexowatch, monitoring competition or backlinks, whatever it is, do share this video with them, right? Because especially people who are into SEO, I definitely would recommend making use of Hexowatch for backlink monitoring, right? Because if you are paying for backlinks, you want to make sure that they stay up, right? So I guess that's all I have to share about Hexowatch. If you enjoyed this video, do give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next video, right? Bye bye.